What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend horoscope for the weekend of October 3rd and the 4th of 2020. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. A lot going on this weekend. You know, we get Pluto going direct on a quincunx to the North Node. We do get the moon moving into Taurus, where the moon is exalted. So there's definitely something about comfort here and, you know, having that ultimate, you could say, reality that we want, or building what we want, but we got to find it like in this like confidence within ourselves, because this moon is, it's got a lot going on here in Taurus. It's on Lilith, so it's almost like we have to do things in a completely unique, different way, especially coming up to Uranus. Like, we almost have to not do things the way we're told to, and like almost find comfort in breaking away from whatever sort of reality or world that we thought was comfortable before. We have to almost rewrite the system this weekend and find out where our values really lie and what makes the most sense and feels the best to us. We do get Venus here at 1 degree coming off Regulus in Virgo, making the trine over to the moon and Lilith. And I would say there's something beautiful about really, finding the purity in your reality, finding the purity within yourself, to be emotionally comfortable and to see some sort of beautiful aesthetic in this world. But it's like, it's only going to really, I guess you're only going to see that if like your immediate reality is right. The more you look out into the world, the darker it gets right now. It's kind of a weird time. I've seen so many people like so happy that someone is sick, and it's like kind of hitting me in a weird place. And I got weird transits going on right now for myself too, but we'll go back to the horoscope. Anyways, this is about finding that beautiful reality that you want, working towards it step by step to have the aesthetic and the harmony that we're looking for. That sun's going to move to 11 degrees. It's really creating space with the opposition to Chiron. So I think we've been dealing with a lot of wounds about our identity, about how we want to present ourselves. And, there's definitely some breakaway separation here. But, we got that Mercury here, which is stepping up closer to Uranus, and it's going to make that opposition too with the moon. I would say there's some weird dark things going through a lot of people's head right now. Where they think there's, there's like this dark confidence almost, if you will, that I've been seeing, and I think that's why I'm bringing it up here. It's like, come on, like the dark stuff is not like aligned with, not that stuff. Like, you can go dark within yourself, that's aligned to come up and rise up higher, but when you start getting dark about other people, I don't know, maybe it's just me right now, maybe I'll get over it. But I think we're having a lot of really weird things come to mind about how we're going to change our world in a way that actually makes sense, and change relationships too, with Juno in opposition to the moon. We've got to start looking for that ultimate value in our own environment that actually is giving us sort of a reward and giving us a value. And then there has to be like, I guess there's this tug of war between our mind fighting off what is truly valued and what is not, what relationships are valued, what are not. It's a lot of stuff, and the sun in Libra is also trying to find that relationship, that harmony, the beauty, seeing others. But it's really hard to see right now, as you guys can probably see if you're scrolling through any social media. And then we got all this Capricorn energy, which is still, Pluto's making that quincunx to the North Node. It's just going to feel, it's hard to just see, I guess, the light that, the North Node is right now. It's hard to go there in a weird, crazy way. I mean, the South Node funnel is wide open. Try not to fall into that hole if you can. And, there's just this hidden agenda really with this energy here that's trying to push something, and it's got a lot of people spelled into that. So I think we gotta rise up and kind of like, rebirth things within ourselves here. Of course, squaring Mars still, that's not gonna go away. And Mars is coming up towards Pluto, and Pluto's going to be direct for this square. So this is like, this weekend's a crazy build-up. We'll jump over to Sunday's chart, and then we get Pluto direct at 6 in the morning on October 4th on the West Coast. Still making that quincunx to the North Node, of course. So we get all that Capricorn energy. It's inertia, like Capricorn energy is moving forward. So there's some restriction factors coming up. There's a lot of weird things that are about to present themselves, and we got to find out how to, maybe like restrict ourselves in a way from things that aren't aligned with us, and where we want to go and the identity that we're trying to be after that full moon in Aries, of course, with squares to Mars. There's blocks if things aren't aligned right. I beat that horse to death, but it's like the longest transit ever. It's intense stuff that's going on, and with all this Capricorn energy back online, we're going to start seeing not only time progress, but we're going to see weird events just start hitting left and right. And the Trump news was one of the things that's coming, and I would expect Sunday that something gets even weirder. Like, there's the way that I've seen this hidden agenda work with the astrology is pretty mind-blowing. So I'm interested, of course, just from that aspect to see what happens with Pluto going direct. But then we get the moon crossing over Uranus, making quincunxes to the sun. It's going to feel really weird, I think, to be comfortable this weekend. Something's going to come out of nowhere. Something's going to surprise people, and it's going to make people feel really weird about any sort of thing that they thought they already knew, or any sort of, I guess, world that they thought they had figured out. Venus is going to start making sessi quadrants over to Pluto, Jupiter, or of course Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So Venus is in a weird spot. It is going to come up and make a trine to Uranus in the next week, but it's meh. It is, however, going to catch up and make a sextile later this week. So that's kind of building too, with sextiling Juno coming up on Mercury. Venus is still trying to help us put that work in on ourselves with the purity, to get our hearts right, I would say, to harvest the reality that we really desire, to try and find some balance in a interesting, crazy world. There's a lot of quincunxes. It's a sticky weekend with big energy with Pluto moving forward. So there's this Capricorn shift to just go now, and it's like, are we ready for the game that Capricorn's trying to play? And are we going to stay in our truth? Are we going to look for facts here with Gemini? Are we just going to jump on anything the media throws at us? Because there's going to be all sorts of things that are going to try and trap us. There are traps coming, and this is a weekend that's going to test our values in a big way. It's going to test us emotionally in how we're comfortable, and we have to be able to look through the fog, look through the spell, and step into our own power and our own identity of our own truth to really get through this in constructive ways, because it's intense. Pluto is unseen, hidden, deep power, underworld stuff. Pluto is very strong in Capricorn too, and Hades. You think about Hades; he's the ruler of the underworld. Like, that guy's back online, ready to go. Quincunx the North Node. It's going to feel weirder than ever to see truth. It's going to be hard. And we got these nodes pressing on Neptune for the rest of this year. We are going to have to look deep within ourselves in so many different ways moving forward. And this is like, it's go time. Like, we have to be ready to do it. It's only going to get weirder, and it's only going to get more off. But like, we have to take that hidden power within ourselves and what we want to create and build. We have to look at it more from, what we can build as an individual. There's Mars retrograding in Aries. This is having us rethink identities. Where are we going to put our energy? Right on top of Eris. Strife, discord. Look around at the world. Like, I know that our immediate worlds can still be legit and they can still be harmonious and beautiful, but man, you go too far out into the world right now and into the United States, into social media, it's a fucking shit show. Blowing my mind. So look, I am trying my best here to see some positivity, and the positivity is in that ultimate comfort and reality that we can build no matter what kind of weird things dark forces try to throw, no matter what spells are casted. We have to step into our truth, we have to hold our identity, we have to heal, we have to see each other, we have to just understand all aspects of things, which is extremely difficult, and we have to be able to look through the veil, which is thin right now. But at the same time, they're gonna try and keep you away from looking through these things. And you guys might think I'm crazy, and that's okay, because I had to get some of that out today. So let's look at the card. This is a different deck. I shuffled, we pulled the strength card back to back. It's the strength, it's the lion's heart, it's the absolute courage that we're not going to be taken off our divine path. That we're going to shine our light and be seen as the truth. And we're not going to just fall for the tricks. We're not going to fall for the agenda. We're coming into the age of Aquarius. We got to be strong, and we got to be sovereign, and we got to come together, and we got to see the strength in the other people that are out there, and stop wishing bad things on people and pushing, whatever, like anything bad. Like, this card's really cool too. It's like she's holding up a shirt with a lion on it. It's because we can take our courage on and off. Like, we can take it on and we can put it back on in big, powerful ways. And we have to put that courage, power, sovereign, strength shirt on in a big way. Again today and this weekend, because it looks like things are going to start happening. Capricorn, it's likely that we start to see more lockdowns and restrictions. It's likely that Trump news was more of an agenda, and he might have health issues. Like, his chart doesn't look amazing for his health right now. The North Node on his sun, all the Capricorn energy in his 6th house. It does look rough, and it's a lot for him. But it just felt too planned. And I don't really have astrological proof for that. That's more intuitive that I feel that way. But that felt extremely planned, and it's going to happen more and more where they're going to push a pre-planned agenda, and we got to be able to look at things a little bit more objectively and not just fall for it. And not that I think that any of you guys watching this are going to, but I got to put that truth out there somewhere, and I might as well do it here. And hopefully you guys don't think I'm too crazy. I even think I'm crazy right now. Full disclosure, this sun and all the stuff that's going on right now is hitting my sun, my Neptune, my Chiron, my Jupiter. Like, I had a crazy grand cross, and it's still, the sun is just right on my sun and my Neptune, doing weird stuff and heading towards my Saturn. So making big squares. Like, I'm going through some weird stuff. My progressed moon is about to cross my rising in the next couple months, and it's just finishing up in my 12th house, which has been nice. That transit really woke me up when it entered my 12th house. But I'm going through some more of that stuff as it finishes up here in that 12th house, and also squaring my sun. So I got weird, I don't know what activation's taking place in my life. It's really interesting, but I felt like putting that truth out for you this weekend. I know it's a lot. I love you guys very much. I hope you guys all find that strength to see through the bullshit, to put it into simple terms. Be sovereign for yourself. Make your own decisions. If that stuff aligns with what you think is true, I'm not going to say anything against that. But, North Node Gemini, we got to question all that stuff, especially with Neptune retrograde. Veil's kind of thin right now in Pisces. We can see, and Jupiter's sextiling this whole time. there's a gift, and it's in trusting that intuition that you have, and trusting your actual like psychic gifts, and looking deeper than the reality and deeper than what's just being put in front of your face. I love you all very much. I hope you have a great weekend. I will see you for the weeklies, and I will see you next week. And I promise I'm okay. I just had to vent a little to you guys. I hope you guys don't mind the vulnerability. Love you very much.